Hey everybody, welcome back to the How to Cello live stream lesson. Today we're gonna continue on with the Brahms Cello Sonata in E minor. And today we're gonna look at the second movement. So let's check it out. Alright, so the second movement is going to be kind of like a minuetto or a minuet or like a waltz. So we're going to be in 3/4. So we'll have dun da da like that, right? 1 2 3 2 2 3 1 2 3 2 like that. All right. So let's quickly take a look at the beginning phrase, and we'll work through the whole movement. Alright, so as usual, let's mark our first phrase with our color. So, the beginning, the piano is going to have an introduction, right? 1 2 da 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 dee dun dum bum, right? Da 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 dun. So that's how we're going to enter. Alright, so let's just quickly take a look at the notes. Alright, we're going to be, there's no sharps or flats, so we're probably going to be in A minor. So we're going to start in the 4th position here with the third finger on the E. So 1, 2, or 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, like that. 1 and 2 and 3 and the sheet music here has the first 2 notes slurred, but generally speaking, we're gonna do this figure. So we're going to do down and then triple up. And this applies to pretty much all the rest of the this figure. So let's just quickly take a look. A, shift half step down, G sharp, and then E is going to be your second finger. Shift back to 4th position, stay in position, B, and then F natural, like that. So, and then here, we're gonna drop back down to 1st position. We're switching to tenor clef, right? So this will be C, and we're doing triple up here. Same thing here, triple up. Triple up. So shift down, C, B, E, G, right? And then let's keep on going. Then we'll be shifting down to 1st position once again. Four, triple up. So, and then here, we're gonna do it as written. And we're going back to the bass clef right here. So, so something really important in the second movement is the articulation, especially in the slurs. You can see here, we don't have the staccato markings in the on top, right? But the next 2 notes we do. So that's something you have to be very, very careful. So if there's no staccato, you're gonna play regular legato, right? But if you see staccatos on top with the legato, that means you're going to give a little bit of space in between. So you're not gonna completely slur. For example, here, the two, those, you would do double up bow, but then the, right? So that's something very important in this movement. So the articulation of the bowing is very important. And then we jump down to the C string, and right. So that's gonna be our first opening phrase. So here, careful with bow articulation. So you're either going to do staccato, like double, like triple up bows or double up bows, or you're going to do right. So try to make that distinction. So we're not separating those, for example, right? All right. So that's gonna be our opening phrase. That's gonna be our main melody that we're gonna play with. So let's try it very, very slowly. And I'll try and count out loud as well. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, piano, da, da, 1, 2, and 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Basically, there we're switching the roles there. You're going to play the accompaniment, and then the piano takes dum dum bum 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 bum, right? So, as far as the up bows go, the staccato up bows, how you can practice those is simply set your bow, right? So you get that crunchy sound, but then you just let go of the tension, and so that's gonna be the trick. So you just pop the string and let it set it once again, and try and practice it slowly, right? So you're gonna actually set your bow in between the strings, in between the notes, excuse me. Once you get that movement down, when you do it in tempo, it'll become a little bit more fluid. You're not gonna have to, you're not actually bouncing it. You're kind of just making a percussive sound. Same thing, just pop it, right? Just slightly. So that's gonna be one of the more important tricks of the articulation aspect of it. All right, so that's our main melody. Now let's go into the next section, which is going to be our, we're switching the roles with the piano, right? So we're gonna take over the accompaniment. and then the piano is going to play the main melody. So let's. I'm gonna write down some bowings, clean up the articulations a little bit. All right, so lift. We're going to be in third position. Shift down to first position. Right? So that's gonna be our little intro. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. Right? Bum bum. So this is the main melody, right? And here we're going to, the bowing pattern is always going to be the same. We're going to do 2 down bow and then up, down, up. This is going to take a little bit long because I'm going to just redo the bowings here. Up, down, up. Alright, so let's just take these two as an example. So we're always going to be in the first position, and then so that one's a little bit tricky because we have to bar this. 3, 3. So 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1, 3, 3. And then just bar it immediately, right? So try it slowly. It's a little bit of the bowing's slightly awkward. But the idea is the very last note, you're always going to come back to the frog for the next bit. Right? So let's continue on with the next bit. Na 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 na. Really cool chords happening here. And then same thing here. Na na na. And then same thing here. Alright. And I'll explain what chords are being played also. And then here, we're going to shift to second position. You can tune that D with the open D, right? And then the A flat is right there. Just tritone apart. Tune the G. And then D with the open, or with the fourth finger. So, I guess you can play open D string as well if you want. But I think playing with the fourth finger sounds better. Then go back. Right? Alright, so the chords here are what we call 6 chords. Basically, you can see we're doing A minor here, but we're also adding that F natural. So we're just adding that sixth, which is in the F minor, or in A minor. So the sixth note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So because we're adding that sixth note within that chord, that's why we call it a sixth chord. So it's a minor sixth chord here. And then here. Here, the chord is a little bit different. So here it's a E dominant, but then with a flat 9 as well, because of that F natural, right? So really complex harmonies being played, really rich harmonies. This is very typical of romantic music. Romantic music, we're now adding a bit more color to our chords. So you'll and also there's a lot of modulations in terms of changing keys and things like that. So you'll also try to listen out for those things. All right, so if we play a little bit fluently the third line. Shift to second position. Down to first. And then here, I would do that. Go to fourth position. And then the next bit here, you can also do, you can stay in position, right? So for example, stay in position and shift to the F sharp. But if you don't feel comfortable shifting like that, you can just shift down to the first position. So kind of just do the same finger pattern, right? That's an option. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. So this is what I'll do. So here, definitely play in the fourth position. But then the next part, it's up to you guys. If you guys want to stay in position and shift down there, stay on the D string, that's up to you guys. Or if you want to maintain the same finger pattern and just shift to a different position, you can also do that. Both options, I think, are equally valid. It really depends what you want to do. And then here, but here so here, the fingering stands, right? As well as the bowing. So here is another case of the articulation. You have to be very precise with it, right? So just make sure you're on the slurs with no staccato, you're playing actual legato. And then the slurs with the staccato, just make sure you're separating the bow. And then that is where that second phrase ends. Right where letter A is. Alright, so that is the beginning part of the second movement. The allegretto quasi minuetto. So the first part, we're just playing with the main right? The cello plays it first, and then the piano plays it next. And then in letter A, we start developing this motif, right? So let's change our colors now. Let's do light blue. So the same concept here. So the piano at A is going to do da 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 da, and then we're going to come in with E, but on the D string, like that. So if we go, and then we shift to third position. So here, pretty straightforward. It's very chromatic. So if you take, if you don't do those, the da 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 da, if you don't do the triple eighth notes, you'll hear that we're descending just chromatically until there, right? So try to just tune your first fingers, and then here tune your third finger, G. You can tune those F sharp and F natural with open A. Right? And then here, same fingering pattern, or bowing pattern, I mean. Down. So here. So we're just going to do an extension C minor, and then shift to the E flat, fourth position, right? Extended fourth position, and then for that G to D, you can do hyper extension. I don't know how to call that. When you extend to the fourth, right? So here, let's actually we'll do separate instead of doing triple up bow, because it right, it's kind of difficult to do triple up bows there, but to do it separate is a little bit easier, so we're gonna make our lives a bit easier. And then the next bit, I like to do this fingering, 1 4 1 2. So for third position, C with the first finger, E flat with fourth finger, G, and then E flat's right there. and then you just shift down to the fourth position there. Yeah, I like that fingering a bit better. So that is our first little bit of development, right? Actually, we can do triple up bow here. You guys can do triple up bow. And then here. There you can use separate bow, a bit more dramatic, right? So one, two. So here, I guess we can put like a separate phrase there, right? Or let's just do it. Yeah, no, we'll keep the same color. Or not. We'll change the color. We'll do it dark blue. Alright, so here, 1, 2, and then we're gonna stay in position. We're in tenor clef here, right? So G, F sharp, E flat. So that little squiggly line above, this guy, that is called a mordent. So a mordent is, it's not quite a trill. It's when you just play one note above and come back down, right? So a trill, you would either have TR or the squiggly line would go a little bit longer, right? If it was a trill, you would play a little bit more like that. But since it's a mordent, just one little trill. And here, let's do double down. So, like that. You know what? Let's see. Let's do that. So here, 2. So you're not, you can bar, right? But here, we want to get to this harmonic G, because it sets us up in position for that C natural, right? Because A harmonic, minor third up is C natural, right? So we're using that same position as a reference, right? So I would probably do 2. So you can do. You know what? Let's not do that there. You can land. Let's do that. I know it's weird, but I think it works. Or not. If you want it consistent, perhaps it is better to do double down here, right? So like this. I don't know. I think that part is debatable. I think I like this bowing better. Because that allows you to do this crescendo as well. I don't know. It feels a bit more natural for me. Try it out. You can try it out. Both are, as I said, bowings and fingerings. Fingerings, there are certain ways you should do it, but bowing is really what gives the sound the color. So, I don't know. Experiment with it, right? The gracioso part. Grazioso, sorry, gracious. I don't know. I like the. I think I like the bowing I have on screen right now better. I think it has a better dynamic contrast, right? The first part, since it's coming down, like naturally the phrase kind of tapers down because of the bowing, right? And then the opposite happens here. Mainly because I want to land on that G kind of strong. So here, C, shift half step down. So A will be down. So that A flat, and here you can see that mordant with the flat. That means you're going to play, instead of just half step above, which is going to be an A natural, you're going to play the B flat, right? So just a reminder, this is a B flat. That little, the flat above the D flat mordant, or A flat mordant, excuse me. So it's going to be a whole step, not a half step, whole step. Just remember that. So, go down to the first one. Yeah, I think I would do that bowing. Let's keep it with that bowing. I think it's more dramatic, more romantic, as one would say. Right? And then here, go to the C string. D on the G string. back. Another octave. And then G natural. So there is where we do octaves with 1 and 4. So you can practice that interval, relax your thumb, bring your elbow out a little bit, try and have not completely flat, but try and support your fingers with try to have the force coming down from above, right? So E, and then F sharp, right? So obviously you don't have to maintain the stretching because you can just shift. But it kind of helps you maintain stability if you do the hyperextension. I'm gonna call it hyperextension when you extend all the way up fourth or octave. So that would be the end of the blue phrase right there. As far as the notes go, it's pretty straightforward. Just be careful of the accidentals, of course, right? But yeah, it's not too difficult. So let's do that. All right. So letter A, the light blue and the blue section is what we will call a development, right? I think I've talked about the sonata allegro form before. It's when you play the main theme, which is called the exposition, right? The exposition, and then you develop that idea a little bit more, which is called the development. And then in sonata allegro form, we basically return back to the exposition theme, but that we call it recapitulation, right? Because we're reiterating the beginning part. So that's the form. That's gonna be the development section. Let's play it all through together, and yeah, let's see, and then we'll keep on going. So from letter A, slightly under tempo. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Dun dun da 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 dun da 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 dun dun dun. So that's gonna be the development section. I didn't really talk about much about dynamics, but just remember that grazioso means gracefully, I think. And then here, crescendo poco a poco, meaning crescendo little by little, right? So here, we're gonna grow until this forte. So something to keep in mind. And let's continue on here. And here, I'm gonna mark it orange because it's gonna be almost the same as the beginning. Main motif. At least the bowings and things like that, they're all gonna be the same. Let me quickly write it out. Except here. This is where we're gonna change a little bit. Basically the ending, right? Let me rewrite this. Bar this. Go down to first position. Bada bum bum bum. Yeah bum bum. Alright, we're gonna slur this. Alright, so kind of a weird page turn there, but if we take a look at the B, the recapitulation, same thing, and then and the only thing that changes is this part. Let me just write the bowing down that I forgot. So you're gonna do 3 4 4. That jump is a little bit difficult. If you want to bar it, you can. So that's what I do. So I kind of just hop. And then I go down to the fourth position. G, F, stay in position. A, harmonic. And then triple up bow. Extension, F, and E major, or dominant in this case, and then A minor, A, E, A, That one's a bit hard to tune. So that's how it ends, right? And. So the rhythm there is a little bit tricky, but if you feel, it's called hemiola. Those when you feel, instead of 1 2 3 1 2 3, right? So 1 2 3 4 1. There it feels like you're doing 1 2 2 2 3 and 1, right? So when you're having those big polyrhythmic ideas, that's what we call hemiolas. But basically just feel it in big 6 or big 3. So instead of 1 2 3 1 2 3, you'll be feeling 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 2 3 1 and 2, right? 1 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. So if you feel big beats there, you'll get the idea of that. All right, so that is the first half of the second movement. It's pretty straightforward. Tempo-wise, just take it a little bit slower when you're learning it. The articulation is going to be a little bit tricky, but I think you'll be fine. So let's try playing through the first bit, and then we'll continue on. All right, so let's try the first half all together. I'll go slightly under tempo. Dun, da, da, dee, da, 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 like that. So 1 2 3 1 2. Ba da 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 dun, dun, and. Sorry. Let's write down the bowing. Or, not bowing. The fingering. Alright, so one more time. 1 2 3 1 da dee dee da dee dun. Stay in position. A2. One, two. Alright, I kind of messed up a little bit in the end. Like, I was supposed to stay in position. And 1 2 gonna be the first half. Maybe at the end I'll give it another go. But so in this movement, there's two parts, right? So that's the first part, and then the second part is where we go into what's called a trio section. So trio, this section basically, it's a different feeling. We're still gonna be in 3, but the feeling is a little bit more fluid. And I think you'll hear what I mean. So let's quickly take a look at it. And what I'm gonna do is, let's ignore the bowings for now, and we'll just work on strictly the notes, all separate. Let's do all separately for now, and I'll call out the notes. So we're gonna start out with this guy, which is going to be D on the D string, harmonic. And this section we're going to be in A major or F sharp minor. So let's see. So that means we're going to have 3 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So just keep that in mind. So let's just take a look at all the notes. So starting with D, C sharp, B sharp is going to be C natural. So we're like that. B, C sharp, B natural, we're gonna go down. G sharp, F sharp is going to be with 2. Right? 4th position. And then we have to do extension. E natural, right? F, E sharp is going to be F natural. And then shift down to G sharp. G sharp, B, it's going to be just normal 3.5 position, right? And then E is going to be right. D natural with 1, extension 1. And then C sharp, shift back to the 1st position. That's pretty normal, right? G sharp with 4th finger. That way your position for that E sharp, which is an F natural. And then here we're going to shift down to 4th position. And then that C sharp is going to be an extension. So you can tune it with the open A if you have trouble hearing it. So that's going to be a C sharp, right? Yeah, C sharp. And then just we're just going to go across the string to G sharp, right? We switch to tenor clef, G sharp, F sharp, E sharp, which is F natural. E sharp, G sharp, or D sharp, C sharp, B. Right? So just Because remember all the sharps. There's a lot of sharps in this one, right? So the second line goes like this. And here, next line, let's do 2. So this is a little bit tricky, so it'll be, let's clean it up. So it'll be A sharp, which is, and then B sharp, which is going to be C natural, right? C sharp, B natural. So super chromatic there. And then G sharp. And then if you want, you can shift down instead of extension. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I do have like kind of, it's a stretch shift, and then, right? You can do 1-1. That's a pretty good fingering, 1-1, especially at that speed, right? 1, 1. And then that's gonna be the notes. So let's play through the notes together once again of the green section. Alright, so if we play the notes, strictly the notes, we'll work on the bowing right after. So, slowly. 1 and 2 and once again, let's do it a little bit faster, and I'm gonna try adding the bowing now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and. So, trick about the bowing in this case is, I think, really it's gonna be bow placement, because So one other thing I want to emphasize in this section is depending on where you are on the string, if you're closer to the bridge, you can your bow is going to require a bit more friction to speak, right? Meaning you can play slightly slower speed of the bow, right? And when you're closer to the fingerboard, it takes a bit more speed of the bow in order to have the string speak out. So what that means is if you have, because this section we have uneven number of notes per bow, if we just play the same speed with the bow, we're gonna run out because we're playing 8 and then 2, right? Or, yeah. So we have to save bow and then go back and then save again and then go back again. And then rest is pretty straightforward. Let me clean up the bowing here. So here we're gonna do a little bit differently. Oh, that's ugly. All right. So basically, we're going to, it's going to be the same idea all throughout. If you have more more notes in one bow, you're going to try and save the bow. And if you have less notes per bow, you're going to try and speed the bow by being closer to the fingerboard. Right? So, very important about the bowing. I think the trio section is all about the bow control. So take your time with it, experiment with the bow placement, and I think that will help you get that. All right, let's continue on in the trio section. What color should I do? I have more color. Let's do red. So if we continue on with the C, it's almost the same. So we're gonna play the, that's gonna be the same fingering. We're gonna do 3, 1, 4, 2. So, once again, bow separately, right? So this is where things change. So third finger for that G sharp. And then here, instead of playing open string, we're gonna play with the 4, right? So E, and then that B. If you think about, if you try and listen for a C minor 7, that's how you're gonna land on that B. Your first finger basically is gonna be on G sharp, right? But how I do it, I slide into the finger position, right? Finger like that. And you can definitely glissando there. I encourage you to glissando there because it's romantic. And you can be very dramatic, saucy. Alright. Same thing here. We're doing different groupings. Same as the one above, right? So we're doing 4, 6, 4, and then it comes back. Alright, so and then here, G sharp, F sharp, D natural, 2, 1, D natural, right? B sharp, which is going to be C natural. E sharp is going to be F net. Right? Very complicated harmony there. Lots of accidentals, so be careful. Thankfully, you don't have to shift too much. Everything's kind of in position, so. So, F sharp, E, and then and then we do and then it does like a coda thing, I guess. So this, remember, we have C sharp, G sharp, and F sharp. So we're not playing open strings here. So C sharp, G sharp, C sharp, E sharp, which is going to be F, G sharp. So essentially it's a G or C sharp major, right? Right, so that's why we have that E sharp. So and then if we continue on, we do D, C sharp, B sharp, which is C natural, shift down half step, and then we go to G natural, F net, and then A, E, C sharp, then G sharp, B, A, like that. And these are going to be slurred together, right? Slurred together like that. All right. And then if we continue on, so F sharp, A, B sharp, same thing. And then you would repeat, or if we take the second repeat, we would continue down that pattern, right? E, F sharp, E, D, D with second finger on G string. I like to play with third finger here. And then this guy will be 3 up bows, like that, slurred. A, G sharp, and then G sharp, F sharp, ignore that, 3, F natural, and then E, and then we hit da capo al fine, which if you've seen my repeat sign videos, it means da capo means go back to the very beginning and until and play through the first part until you reach the fine, right? So after C, you basically go back to the very beginning, but let's take a look at the bowing and things like that once again at C. So, just the notes. So slowly, fluently, just the notes. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and red. And 3 and red section, let's now add the bowing, right? I think the bowing will help us get quite a bit of context. So, hey, hi, welcome back. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I know it's been a while. Been super busy, but yeah, I figured I have to get through the classes. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Welcome back. All right, so let's now try the red section, the second half of the trio section with the bowing. So the idea is the same, bow placement, right? Be aware of the bow speed, and let's give it a go. One, slightly under tempo. 1 and 2 and. Save. And 3 Alright, so that's gonna be with the bowing. So I didn't play the second repeat in the second half. See how you feel. You definitely play the first repeat, but if it feels a little bit long, the C section, because remember we have to play the first part and then the trio section and then go back to the first part, right? So just be aware that it's gonna be kind of repetitive if you play all the repeats. But let's now try the whole entire trio section. And then, actually, this is what I'm gonna do. Let's try. I'm gonna play from the orange section, right? So the right before, and then we're gonna play the trio, and then we're gonna go back to the da capo and see how it sounds like, right? All right. So this is kind of how the piece is going to sound like. I'm gonna start from here, the letter B, and then we're gonna continue on to the trio, and then we're gonna do da capo. And I think that'll be the end of the class for today. But yeah, let's try and get a feel for how this piece goes. I'm gonna play slightly under tempo from letter B. 1, 2, and 3, and 1 and 2. Da 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 dee dum. B. keep on going. Letter C. Once one and two and three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Run, dun, da, da, run, and then. Alright, so that is going to be the end of the second movement. So I think that's going to be it for this movement today. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment with the measure number or whatever, and I'll try and get back to you and answer. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, and hopefully I'll be doing I'll be able to find time to do another class. I believe the next one I'm going to do, either we're gonna continue on with the Elgar cello concerto, or maybe we'll start with maybe we'll do a first movement of a different concerto. But as again, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you all. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Happy practicing. Bye.